welcome to the panel today on the evolving investment landscape for artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. I'm Joel Strauch. I'm an investment banker with DC Advisory covering the infrastructure software sector. And I'd like to just thank my colleague Chris Heeb, who's also at DC Advisory covering customer interaction management, who was instrumental in pulling together this panel, so thanks, Chris. DC Advisory is a proud sponsor of the Montgomery Summit, and we have been for 10 years, and we're really happy to be back. Today we have 4 panelists with us who will give us sort of an insider perspective on some of the changes in the AI and ML landscape and how they're navigating them. Today we have with us Ryohei Fujimaki, who is the founder and CEO of Data, Dimitris Vassos, who is the CEO and founding partner of Amelia.
Hi.
Prashant Warrior, who's the CEO of Cure AI.
Hello.
And Gaurav Mittal from THL. He's the managing director. So today what we like to do with the panelists is get through a little bit of the increase in noise that we've seen around AI and ML and get a different perspective, a perspective from actual participants in the market on what are the substantive changes that are taking place and how is it impacting this sector from an investment perspective in particular. We're going to go and ask them some specific questions, but I think why don't we start by getting to know the panelists a little better. I'm going to ask each of you to please just do a quick overview of yourself and your firm so people understand where you are in the market. Ryohei.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ryohei Fujimaki. I'm founder and CEO at Data. So Data, we were founded in 2018, and then today we are at Series B, raised about $75 million last year. And we are a feature discovery platform. What it means is that we are the first company who introduced AI technology to transform business data in a form that AI, machine learning, or BI can consume. Right? Traditionally, previously, before Data, it is a heavy manual process with different type of experts. You need a subject matter expert to come up with hypothesis pattern in the data. And then you need a data engineers who really knows very complex business data, how to manipulate it. And then you need a data scientist who really know about the statistics, machine learning, and so on and so forth. And this manual process, so complex, time-consuming, costly, and we have the very strong automation technology that AI explores hundreds, thousands, or even sometimes millions of hypothesis patterns in an hour. And with this, we are enabling all the companies who leverage AI, BI, or machine learning technology and makes them very productive. And that's what we do.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Dimitris?
I'm Dimitris Vassos. I'm founder and CEO of Amelia. And Amelia is an AI company that's automating customer service. So we deploy our technology for enterprises where they have a lot of incoming customer service inquiries. And we aim at automating a big proportion of those with improving also the customer experience. We've been around for quite some time. We're not a startup. I personally started in this sector 20 years ago, so I've seen how AI and machine learning has impacted my sector, but also in general the enterprise software market. We started out in 2002 from the contact center market, and today we are one of the few companies in the world where we can automate customer service using the voice channel, but also textual channels, but especially around the voice channel. We are one of the few companies that develops the foundational technologies for voice automation, technologies such as speech-to-text, text-to-speech, voice biometric authentication, which allow us to be very efficient and very effective in recognizing what customers are asking for, being able to authenticate their identity in the contact center, and consequently to fulfill their requests.
Great, thanks, Dimitris. Prashant?
Thank you, Joel. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prashant Warrior. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cure.ai. I'm a data scientist by training and have been building data science algorithms for 22 years now, and worked in various fields from trucking networks to fashion, and started Cure 7 years ago, focused on AI and radiology imaging. So what we do is we build AI algorithms which can automatically interpret radiology images, chest X-rays, musculoskeletal X-rays, chest CTs, head CTs. And this is a task which requires a lot of training. I mean, imagine a person has to go through high school, a medical degree, and then a radiology specialization to become a radiologist. And we are training algorithms to do that automatically within a minute. Actually, we can process these scans within a minute. Our solutions are used in for various use cases, from detecting lung cancer early to being in the pathway for tuberculosis screening across the world, to triaging for stroke cases, triaging for trauma cases, triaging for bleeds, identifying fractures on musculoskeletal X-rays. So wide variety of use cases, technologies built on a lot of data, built on more than 1 billion images that we have in our database. And it is evident. I mean, so we've created a lot of evidence working with some of the top academic institutions globally. And so we have about 50+ publications in some of the top medical journals, from Lancet to Nature Scientific to the Journal of the American Heart Association. And these products are called medical devices. Well, it's only a software. It's a cloud-based software. But they are called medical devices, so you have to actually get an FDA clearance or a CE marking to deploy them. And so we've gotten those, and we've gotten FDA clearance for a variety of our capabilities. We've gotten CE marking. And most importantly, we are cleared globally. We are cleared in about 85 countries today. And our solutions are being used in 75 countries. We are in about 1,200 hospitals, and process about 7 million to 10 million patients through our systems on an annual basis.
Great, thank you, Prashant. Garv?
Thanks, Joel. Gaurav Mittal, good afternoon all. I'm a managing director at Thomas H. Partners. We're a Boston-based private equity firm, been in the business in 70s. Currently investing in our 2 funds. Our flagship fund is about 5.6 billion, and then we have an automation-focused fund that's about $1 billion. We have dedicated focus to invest in and around automation technologies. And this whole surge in AI is super interesting to us. We've been studying the impact on our portfolio companies, as well as looking to invest in AI technologies. And excited to be at the panel today, and look forward to the chat today.
Great, thank you. Why don't we jump into a few questions, and Ryohei, we'll start with you. You know, AI and machine learning technologies have been around for a long time, and we've seen in previous times cycles of great interest come and go, peaks of interest. You sit in an interesting intersection in the market between data management and AI. What trends are you seeing that make you see that this is the opportunity around AI is different and can also create sort of the sustainable growth that investors are looking for?
Yeah. So I want to mention 2 different trends. One is data side. And data side, as you know, recently, cloud data management platform trend is really accelerated. Databricks, Snowflake, Azure Synapse, or Amazon EMR, or Google, those kind of big players, the data are now kind of collected to the cloud side, which means data become really accessible. However, one challenge here for many enterprises are data are accessible, but not yet very consumable for data users, right? And it comes to the data user side, there's a lot of nice tool coming out, like big player release Azure ML, SageMaker, Google ML. On the other hand, BI side is also very, very mature. And there's a 2 market rapidly growing. Data is accessible, tool is ready. However, data is not really consumable for user, because business data are collected for the business and not really for machine learning AI. So that's why we are seeing increasing trend to make data as a product or asset of the company, rather than just keeping the data as it is in a business form. But rather, for example, if you want to solve the customer analytics problem, churn, upsell, cross-sell, increasing revenue, or you want to solve the supply chain problem, like making the demand forecasting, price forecasting, inventory optimization, or you want to analyze the sensor data collected from IoT. Whichever problem you are solving, just don't put the data as it is, but it's very, very important to extract the meaningful patterns from data as a data asset. And how data is going to help and what problem we are solving in this market is actually we are really putting the AI technology to find these patterns automatically from the data for your business problem so that your data is really consumable for your data science team or BI team and makes them really productive. So that's the two really important data side of the world and data utilization of the world.
And I think there's always been a question about addressable market and go-to-market around these really great technologies. Do you see the addressable market expanding because the tools are more accessible?
Correct. I think there's no more question like maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, people were talking how to build a single AI machine learning model, how to visualize data into the dashboard. Today, I think the question is, how can you create hundreds of AI models in a short period of time? Right? Because you have to embed many advanced models behind your business system. And these kind of models are going to drive your business stream.
Gotcha.
Right? So to do that, it's too time consuming and too slow to rely on the all manual effort by expert I mentioned, like a domain expert, data expert, and data scientist. So our type of automation tool is going to play an important role to accelerate this momentum.
Gotcha, great, thanks, very interesting. And Dimitris, you successfully raised capital in 2020, which was a little bit different environment today. Yeah. What changes have you observed in sort of how the space is perceived, and how do you think that will impact investor appetite?
Well, certainly back in 2020, the market that today we're in did not exist as a name. So conversational AI did not exist. It came to be basically last year through Gartner and IDC and analysts bringing together the different companies that are operating in this field and doing an analysis and creating the market. Up until that point, I think AI was a technology. Now AI is defining what you do, right? So you heard me introduce Omilia as an AI company operating in customer service, right? Previously, we would say we are a customer service company using AI technology. So that is a fundamental shift in how people see the technology, see AI. It's become a sector in itself. And there's other tailwinds, I think, that companies like Omilia have been riding over the course of the last few years, which are contributing to a huge acceleration in the market in enterprises taking up this technology. Since 2020, what has happened, of course, is the pandemic. And the pandemic was a very abrupt realization for a lot of enterprises that employees are not a resource that they can count on always. There are specific circumstances where you cannot have your people that work for you actually be operational. So business continuity plans never took that into consideration. Now they do, and AI is the key tool that enterprises are using in their BCP plans to protect themselves from such eventualities in the future. That has meant that enterprises are moving to both AI and cloud. This has certainly for us been a huge tailwind, which we're seeing a lot of the large enterprises that were previously operating with on-prem solutions and with legacy vendors and being locked in there, reshuffle that deck now. And while they're reshuffling the deck and they're on their journey to transform their operations to the cloud, companies like Omilia, companies that are capitalizing on AI, are in pole position to take advantage and monetize this mobility. Certainly for investors, I think, somebody told me, a friend of mine told me, if I mention 3 times ChatGPT, my company's valuation doubles automatically, so already mentioned it once. That's certainly ChatGPT did infiltrate every home, literally, so the awareness that it created is something we have not seen before, right? It was very, very fast and very broad. Mothers, fathers, they know about ChatGPT because their kids are cheating, with homework. So, my mother knows about ChatGPT and she hardly understands what I do, right? So,
Yeah.
still.
Big change, yeah.
It's a huge change, and I think it's a accelerator on an already accelerated market. Exciting
Very,
times.
very interesting, yeah. And sort of on that same topic, Prashant, so, all this talk about ChatGPT, there's been this sort of peak of interest. You've been delivering solutions for a long time. Are you seeing any impact from this peak of interest on your business and your growth prospects?
A couple of things I will say there, right? One is that definitely there is more interest. I mean, I think from investors there is more interest because AI has suddenly become hot again. It was, I think, back in 2016, 17, there was also a lot of talk about AI. It was pretty interesting back then as well. And for a while it sort of died down and now it's again become hot topic, right? But as a company, I really feel that, Dimitri said this very rightly, right? We are a radiology services company. I mean, whether we use AI or any technology, doesn't matter. If you think about Google, which is probably the largest AI company in the world, you don't think about them as the AI company, right? AI is there in Google search, in Gmail in terms of spam filter, predicting what you're going to write next. In so many different places, in Google Maps there is AI. But we don't think of them as an AI company. We think of them as a company which provides us navigation or search or email, right? So I think similarly, we have always been a company which provides radiology reporting services to a lot of our customers. And that means we are helping them report X-rays automatically. We are helping them detect stroke early or detect lung cancer early. And we have to integrate into the workflow of the radiologist. So that means that we have to basically make it should be, I think what I want to say is that AI should be invisible. We should not even think about the fact that there is AI in there. It has to be something where when I look at, if I'm a radiologist, I look at a scan, AI has already done its work. It's already marked out where the abnormalities are, already quantified the abnormal regions, already created a report for me. And in that sense, I would basically, I'm a consumer of AI. I'm just thinking about what is helping me improve my productivity and accuracy in terms of reporting that scan. So we've always operated from that perspective that while AI is what is powering our technology, but we are creating a value proposition for an end user. And if that value proposition is strong, obviously people will buy it, people will use it, and you will scale. And that's what we have seen. In the last 6 years, we've seen sort of the AI world sort of become hotter and become less hot over time. But I think overall, as a end user, they don't care. And that's our learning has been that continue serving the end user, continue creating value for them, and you will find traction. And the other thing which I wanted to talk about, second thing which I said is that I've seen like a lot of companies who are doing even simple models, branding as .ai and rebranding themselves, right? And that, I think there is definitely value in doing that because I feel a lot of, that sort of market is gaining more traction today, with ChatGPT becoming so popular and everybody knowing about, hearing about ChatGPT and using ChatGPT. So I think there is a lot of traction there, but yeah, I think end user, you have to create value for the end user.
Great, thank you. And Gaurav, I'm sure everybody's waiting to hear the investor perspective on the space. So where are you finding attractive opportunities sort of vertically and horizontally? And Are there other signals that you're picking up where you can see AI adoption is actually, happening, maybe with your portfolio companies or elsewhere?
Yeah, I can go on for hours on the topic, but I'll try to be crisp. I was thinking about how to sort of best phrase it. I'm sure all of you have seen data is the new oil or data is the new gold. I think what excites us is like AI technology is built on top of data over the last, and I think this phrase was coined back in 2006. So since then, I think a lot of technology evolution is happening. And what is exciting for us is investing in picks and shovels that enable AI, that enable sort of optimizing data, making some sense of the data, predictive, prescriptive around it. So regardless of whether it's a horizontal technology or a vertical technology, we find it exciting. Where we are probably spending less time on our sort of broad-based models like ChatGPT, right? Because those tend to be pretty expensive. I think some of the large, very, very big corporations are behind it. So maybe not the best fit for us where we play. But anything within horizontal ecosystem, which is broad solution, but targeting specific verticals or defining a go-to-market around specific verticals is super interesting for us. And we see a lot of opportunities within that. And then vertical point specific solutions. We think there's a specific domain knowledge which gets embedded behind these. And there's a lot of value, like what Prashant is doing or what even Data is doing, the specific domain knowledge which is embedded within those solutions. And we find those very interesting. And we think there are a lot of opportunities within that. Now, as an investor or as a firm, we invest in healthcare, we invest in financial technology, a lot of interesting things happening around AI within those. And then I sit within a technology practice. So within that, we invest in things like manufacturing optimization, supply chain optimization. Again, a lot of value being created by AI in and around those ecosystems. I'll give you a couple of examples. We're invested in a company called Right Hand Robotics that uses, it's a piece-picking robotic technology business, uses AI software and then sort of robotic technology and machine vision to enable fulfillment centers. We're also invested in a content ratings and review platform called Bazaar Voice. So we use AI to manage content, to deliver bespoke content and curated content to our customers through that. So lots of applications that we think it's a super exciting field and a lot for us to look forward to in the coming years.
And are you picking up any signals beyond, you're looking at the market, you're looking at a lot of opportunities, but are you seeing any signals where the rate of adoption or the way companies are using AI is changing, maybe with your portfolio companies or
yes and no. I think the encouragement or the surge is interesting because everyone is suddenly now talking about it. But as I said at the outset, our portfolio companies have been developing these technologies, these products for many, many, many years. Now, I think the recent surge is helping us with our go-to-market because I think some of my fellow panelists mentioned, like rather than saying we are a sort of a customer experience company using AI, we are an AI company using customer experience. So I think that is helping with some of the value sell, some of the upsell with the customers, but it's not like it's a new product altogether. Now there are new technologies like generative AI. We are seeing like how can that be embedded within some of our own core products.
We just have a little bit of time left. I think when you see the market data that's been coming out on AI and ML spending, it's a large number and it's accelerating. I think I've seen a couple of charts where the growth rate is actually expected to increase over the next couple of years. Maybe just real briefly, are each one of you seeing that in your business? Are you seeing an acceleration in growth, or is it beyond this hype in terms of spending?
Yeah, I think so. There's a new technology coming out, and then even we say AI, machine learning, or data side, we are seeing accelerating investment in this area. But I think under this economic situation, people need to really think like how we do more with less resource. So those kind of efficiency side of the conversation is getting more important in even AI, machine learning type of space as far as I observe.
How about you, Dimitris?
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing that. The acceleration translates into numbers. We see a lot of enterprises approach us with the mandate, we need to do AI, right? So there's also these customers that just do it because they need to. But it's also, I think, fundamentally cost-saving projects. So people are now realizing that they can have the cost savings that AI provides without sacrificing customer experience. And ChatGPT, second time I mentioned it, has helped a lot in that respect, because previously there was a little bit of skepticism about AI. Will it work? Do I really want to trust my customer experience to the AI? Do these things really work? And a lot of that hesitation and skepticism has now gone away. We see customers being a lot more bullish in deploying this technology in their contact centers.
Yeah, and I think with Prashant, I think you've said already you're not really, the trends affecting your business are different than sort of the broad AI trends. Are you seeing greater acceptance for your approach or anything else along those lines?
I think we are seeing acceptance because we have showcased the value of the solution in terms of improving quality of care, improving productivity, helping patients get diagnosed faster, or generating more revenue for the hospital, right? So if you find those value propositions for the end user, then they will adopt. We have not necessarily seen that people just buy us because we are AI.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Maybe we'll wrap with you,
Yeah,
Gaurav. Are you seeing better? Are you seeing more opportunities that kind of fit the mold, or is it still too early?
I'll make 2 points to wrap it up. One, I think I may have mentioned, I think AI is a foundational technology. So it's, as I said, it's been there for a while. We now have packaged it, given it a proper name. And as a result, I don't think it's similar to any other hype cycles. I think it's been evolving, it's been getting embedded. Like Prashant has been doing it for 10 years, right? So it's been there. So I think that gives us as investors comfort that we're not just investing in a hype cycle around that. On the flip side, I think there's so much happening. It's going to be interesting to see how customers adopt it. How do you train your customers to actually, it's one thing to say, oh, here's the data, so what? I think having some of the products and technologies that can help you understand the so what behind it is going to be fundamental for the adoption of these tools and technologies.
Great. It's very interesting, and you all have really fascinating companies, and congratulations to what you've all been able to achieve so far. Thank you very much for participating today. That'll be a wrap for us. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit.